I like him too, but I know that whatever I say, Matthew will just like cut for time because you guys covered it already. So
Watch me make this the intro of the video just to embarrass you. Hey, welcome to the short list. I'm Matthew from Matthew's List, and today we will be going over our top 5 printable models for April. We will be joined by our special guest, Charlie, from the Dork Factory. So without further ado, let's begin. Yeah, so this is Charlie from the Dork Factory. Or are you the Dork Factory?
You know, it's a little enigmatic. I kind of keep it confusing. So, no solid answer.
Keep the fans guessing. I like that. All right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I'm Charlie, as I said, and I run the Dork Factory, where I make new printable miniatures every month. It's mostly cyborgs and biomechanical stuff. Demons and aliens, really into dark sci-fi themes. It all kind of fits into the grim, dark sci-fi world, but it's also just kind of stuff that I think looks cool, and it sort of functions on its own as well.
Number 5.
all right, so this is some sort of devil, gargoyle, demon-ish thing, right? And I love all the details of his flesh. Like, it's just, super creepy looking. His wings, look all leathery and bony. And I just like his posing, right? Like, he's perched atop something, kind of lurking over, the enemy, watching, for the opportune moment to strike. And these, make great enemies to fight. So I quite like this model a lot.
Yeah, I'm really into the skin here. I like how the musculature is kind of, what would you call it? Like, not quite realistic. It's almost like scales, more like, I guess. Like that shoulder, especially, is what I'm looking at there. I like that. It's very exaggerated, but, I don't know, kind of stylized. And that face it just looks really cool. I like the details. Yeah, nice model. This one is the boss from Black Crag Miniatures. Like, compositionally, this thing is just so smooth across the whole model. I really like how clean, like, the lines are on everything, and how, like, the details, they're sharp when they should be sharp, and they're soft where they need to be softer. Like, this guy especially, too. Lots of orcs out there have, like, kind of the generic orc face going, and this one you kind of get some more interesting, like, bone structure underneath. And that eye patch, I mean, just the details are so crisp. I really like sculpts from Black Crag.
Yeah, this is a great sculpt. And Black Crag, she's pretty new as far as sculpting for 3D printing. And I remember when she had like less than 20 patrons, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to last very long. And now she's like, 400 or more, something like that. It's awesome to see that it's working out, because these are great models. You'll see a theme in all of mine this month, and basically posing. It really helps make something interesting to paint and to have on the table. And I loved this pose. I love the expression, especially like the angry fisheye. And I love the little details. Like, if you look on the back, you see the scales are coming through the cloak, which is awesome. And the 2 little fingers on the end are like open, which it's like, yeah, you wouldn't think of it, because you see a closed fist holding like a polearm weapon like all the time. But in this one, like, it's out there, and you're like, yeah, you kind of would do that when you're moving it around, so you have like range of motion.
Yeah, this thing is really cool. I'm a huge fan of like the Dagon Lovecraft kind of storyline. So this thing is it's won me over. Yeah, the cool, like, realistic attention to detail with the fingers out is really nice. Yeah, solid. I like it.
Number 4.
All right, so this is just like a plant that is cute at the same time it is evil. And I just really liked everything about this model. They had a few of these, but this one had the most dynamic pose. They make the arms look sort of claw-esque, even though they're leaves. And I like all the creepy little sort of teeth at the center of the flower that's gonna get you.
Yeah, it's very Shop of Horrors. I like those leaves along the top there. Like, clearly those were each individually sculpted, which is pretty cool.
What's great about this model, besides that it just looks cool, is it's a great alternative to like a little throwaway monster like goblins. Like, my party is sick of fighting goblins. I need something else. Well, you could just take the goblin stat block, throw these things there, maybe tweak a couple rules, and suddenly you've got fresher fights again.
I am a big fan of bipedal robots. He's got the cool armor plating on the outside with nice details here and there. And then underneath, you can see all those like pseudo-functional looking pistons and such in there. And that's something that I always have a hard time with. And I just feel like he nailed it. It just looks great. It's a nice model.
I love when they do that with the face. Like, I think people are doing this more and more where they have the, you know, the painter's mask filters, because it's just a great detail, but also like the totally covered face shield. Like, it's just awesome looking. Like, these are great. This goes with my theme of pose, particularly the bull. It's very action oriented. The expression on its face is just so excellent. You got the orc cowboy. I love when they do on these types of animals or creatures, when they have what is clearly thick fur and then the thin fur, or, you know, the super short fur, however you end up painting it. But like, that just helps so much to make it interesting when you're actually going to paint. And then the other little detail that I love is the chains on the horns. They're excellent.
Yeah, I also was gonna say I like the chains on the horn. I like how the bull is sort of a little otherworldly, right? It looks like he has 6 horns, you know, but yeah, it's a cool sculpt.
Yeah, I'm definitely into those chains as well. I like how he kind of inset them there to make them a lot more printable.
Oh, yeah.
And that face is really cool. It kind of reminds me of like, it's almost like a Chinese style dragon, or like, what is it? Where All the Wild Things Are, I think is the book.
Yes. Yep.
Number 3.
Ooh.
All right, so this is from Dragon Trapper's Lodge, and the release had many of these, I don't even know what they are, like coconut people. I love how he's just like, even though he's, you know, this tall, right, he's just raising his axes, ready to charge in, you know, singing the song of his people, you know, with that facial expression. And when I saw this little mini in like the little corner of the Patreon preview, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. And there were many of them that were cute, but I went with this one just because I love the complete, you know, just charging in with abandon, you know, axes held high pose of this one.
Yeah, this guy's definitely got some attitude going. I totally thought it was an acorn at first, but I think, yeah, you're right, it's a coconut. Very cute. Super cute little guy. Great details across the whole model. I'm a big fan of any kind of like warping flesh stuff, so super into the weird like claw tooth tentacle stuff going on there. Yeah, really crisp details across everything. Like, it all stands out just about the perfect amount for a 32 millimeter scale miniature. I would love to see this thing printed. I bet it looks great.
Yeah, this is super creepy. I agree with the tentacle teeth hooky things right at the top. Is just like, oh gosh, I do not want to meet this creature. But I also really like his shoulder pad and like his like spiky gauntlet on his left hand. Like all the little, you know, details and straps of like his equipment. I thought was well done. So
we have Flacco, which is a named character. The whole group is like a Southwest gangster type of thing, and they're all like these hybrid cyborg people. And again, with the pose, it just looked awesome. And if there's people out there watching who are like, that's not how you hold a gun at all, it's like, yeah, but it really adds to the character of the pose. Like, it's awesome. I thought the whole thing was really cool.
That is definitely a very creative way to hold a gun. I don't know. It makes it look a lot more cool. Yeah, Unit 9 is constantly pumping out tons of really cool cyberpunk stuff. Yet another cool humanoid, like really well detailed, kind of just wearing clothes kind of guy. I sort of like categorize miniatures really weird because everything I do is like super not real. So when I see
Mhm.
stuff with like pants, like it's a realm that I'm not very familiar with.
Number 2.
I love aquatic themes, and so like an underwater, skeleton pirate is, cliche, but it's a cliche that I enjoy quite a bit. But then you put it on a skeleton of a hammerhead shark, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna write a whole campaign around this enemy, right? Like this is great, it's fantastic. He looks pretty happy to be riding his little undead mount there.
I'm really into how beat up all these bones look. It looks like it's really there's kind of some story background going there. This guy's definitely been in a lot of battles or something.
Yeah, it makes it look like it wasn't turned into a skeleton recently. Like
No,
it's been a skeleton mount for quite a while.
yeah, this guy has wiped out a lot of adventurers. Yeah, so I never really have thought much about aircraft stuff, but this one just really caught my eye. This thing is just mind-blowingly cool. I'm just going rule of cool on this one. I don't have a ton of like particular feedback on it. I just think like this is the first aircraft that I'm like, I actually need to print that.
Mm-hmm. Edge Miniatures is appropriately named, in my opinion, because everything he does
Oh,
that has these basically blade edge type things, like he just gets it. Like I don't know what it is, but he gets it, and it always looks cool.
Yeah, if I was a fighter pilot in a sci-fi universe, this is what I would want to be flying, right? This is like the hot rod that you fly and everyone's jealous of you because your ship looks so cool.
I love this guy. Super cool pose. It looks like he's like calling his shot, like he's a home run hitter and like he's pointing to left field or whatever. I love the decisions. Like look at the belly. He made the whale ridges, like he added them to the belly, and I feel like that just works so well. When you got a big belly, it can be a bit of a blank space that's not always interesting.
I gotta say, I have never seen a whale humanoid before. This is pretty interesting. It's crazy. Like D&D, you see like every mashup of like an animal into a bipedal something, and somehow I've never seen this before. These ropes are really nice on this weapon, which I don't really get what it is, but I'm super into it. It's very creative. Maybe like some kind of like bone hook or something. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what folks can get from the Dork Factory this month?
Cool. Yeah, so I just did the first in what's probably going to be a somewhat lengthy line of alien space bug kind of stuff. This one is called the Birthing Behemoth. Next month, you're going to see what it gives birth to, if you're curious about that. But yeah, this month we've got a gigantic alien bug. It's like 12 and a half centimeters tall. I think it's actually the biggest, like volume wise, definitely the biggest miniature I've made so far. And then I do something called the Vault, which that's where I include some previous releases too. And we've got the House Guard Squad, which are kind of I've people have really proxied these guys as a lot of different stuff, so it's kind of up to your interpretation how you want to use those guys. And also the Blade Master demons down on the bottom row there. So yeah, giant bug and a whole lot of evil cyborg space elves going on. So when you guys asked me about a top five, the first person in my mind actually was Blue Art. But I guess they're on pause currently, so it didn't really count for this month. But yeah, I just felt like this person deserves a shout out. But yeah, it's just really cool creative ideas coming from this person. One day I should say hi or something. It's great stuff.
Yeah,
So,
all these guys, they look great. These ones in particular are just
right.
so unique.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, these are probably my favorite of Blue Art's models. I really like those guys.
they're like gun dog bugs, and you think if
Yeah.
you were going to say that and imagine it, you're like, well, that would just look dumb. But then you look at these guys and you're like, oh, I get it. Like this, oh, it's awesome.
Number 1.
All right, so this thing is like the stuff of nightmares for me, right? That mouth is horrifying. And then like the tail with like the stinger, right? And then, but he can like walk on his legs, and so he can like kind of just,
Yeah, those teeth are really amazing. There's like really awesome separation of the gums and the teeth going on, and like super fine little details in there. I like that. And the skin across the whole body is like there's kind of different regions going on with different textures. It's pretty nice. This dude is just cram packed with cool little details. I'm a huge fan of anything kind of Hellraiser style, like nails in it and like torn apart. I really like what's going on with the chest there. The cloth is some of the coolest cloth I've seen in a while. Bestarium does textures really well across all their models, I feel like. Loving the kind of Dark Souls vibe going on here, too. Great model.
A person walking around with giant, like spikes or wooden swords, like sticking through their chest and nails in their head, and their face is just like, what? Like, you're toast. Like, you're going to die on sight. Like, he doesn't even have to swing anything at you. You're just dead. I love the pose, of course. The texture is just incredible on this guy. Like, you could get so repetitive if you were trying to make this armor suit out of just plants. Like, it could get repetitive so fast, but this thing is it's just so interesting. And then, of course, you have the vines on the weapons and the shield, which is awesome. And the real big focal point, the helmet, is just excellent. It's creepy and awesome.
This guy, for some reason, I just can't like get out of my head like what he would sound like kind of like shaking a shrub or something. Like I feel like that's just coming to mind. I don't know why, but cool sculpt.
As a non-artistic person who paints primarily with Citadel contrast paints, I look at this and go, oh man, this would look really good, right? Because all those details would just do really well with contrast paints. And it'd make me look like a much better painter than I am.
All right, that's our video for today. Thanks for watching. Did we miss any amazing models for April? We probably did. If so, let us know in the comments section. Links to everything mentioned today can be found in the description. A big thanks to our special guest, Charlie, for joining us and for setting up a 25% discount code to his My Mini Factory store. The code is Dorklist25 and is good for the rest of April. If you want to get daily updates on monthly Tribe and Patreon releases, check out the Matthews List Discord, link in the description. If you'd like to see more monthly videos, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, happy printing.